Hello everyone, welcome to another Inventor tutorial. Today I will walk you through basic of Inventor simulation. Here I have created simple part file. It is look like a frame, but it is just simple part file. In Inventor, mainly we have to follow 4 steps to complete a simulation. For part file, we need to define the material and we need to define constraint. That means where these parts are going to be permanently fixed, and then we have to apply the load, and finally we have to generate the mesh and then run the simulation. Let's get started. You can find a simulation command under 3D model tab. If this is activated simulation, if it is not available, go to environment. Under the environment tab you can see stress analysis. Click on that, then it will take you to stress analysis. Now under analysis tab, click on create study. Once you click on create study, it will take you to create new study dialog box. So under the name you can type something useful. I will make it static analysis basic 1, and under the study type we are going to do static analysis. The model analysis and shape generator are different. Focus on this one, and detect and eliminate rigid body modes, keep this one unchecked. And under the model, this is not a complicated model, we just have only one model state. That's all for create new study dialog box and click OK. Now create static analysis basic 01 is created. So after that we have to start define material, constraint, load, mesh. So first thing is we have to define the material. Assign material, density, Young modulus and position ratio has to be there when you define a material. You can either assign standard material from the inventor or input custom value. So I'm going to add material from the inventor list. In order to do that, you can click on here and right click and assign material, or you can click on here under the material, assign material. Once you click on assign material dialog box pops up. Now I have already given earlier the original material as mild steel. If you want to override, click on here. From this drop down list you can simply click on whatever the material you want. I will simply click copper and click OK. You can keep as mild steel or you can override the material and click OK. Now the material is defined. Next you have to define the constraint. The constraint dictate how your model is fixed or supported onto the ground or any other places. You can select either face or edge or vertices as anchor point. In order to define the constraint, right click on constraint, and there are 3 constraint: fixed constraint, pin constraint, frictionless constraint. Or even from this ribbon you can select fixed constraint and the other 2. For this one basically we use fixed constraint. Click on fix. We have to click on the location. I'm going to rotate the model, shift and middle mouse button. I'm going to click on this surface and this surface as fixed surfaces. Go to home view and apply, cancel. Now we have defined the constraint as well. The next step is to define the load. Load represents the physical force acting on your design. So first of all, it is always a good practice, right click and click on gravity load. So we have this item any item always has a weight, so we have to add that weight to the model. In order to do that, you always have to define the gravity. So we know that magnitude is 9.81 meters per second square second, and direction, click on this edge. Now it is pointed upwards. You have to reverse the direction to the ground, reverse the direction and click OK. And next let's define the load. Similarly, same way before, you can right click and add a force load, pressure load, bearing load, movement load, body load, remote force load. So basically for this one we are simply going to apply force. So you can choose here, either from here or from this ribbon, click force, and the definition magnitude I will add 500 kilograms. 500 kilograms equal to you have to multiply it by 9.81 to convert it to Newton. And for the location, I'm going to click on this top surface. When you click on this top surface, this much of force is evenly distributed along the surface, and click apply, click cancel. Now the force is defined. The last one is the create the mesh. Now we have defined material and add constraint and add the load. Now you have to create the mesh. In order to create the mesh, click on mesh, or otherwise right click and mesh view, click on mesh view. So I'm going to click on mesh and it's going to create the mesh. And from here you can set the different mesh settings. From here you can define the average mesh element. Now it is 0.1. I will make it 0.05. If you make it 0.05, the element sizes are going to be smaller, and the other element as well you can define as per your requirement, but this is simple part, so you don't have to focus on the other minimum element size and the maximum turn angle and gradient factors, and click OK. Then you can right click and update the mesh, and you can see the mesh size is smaller. So the other one is local mesh control. You can use this one to control the mesh element only a certain area. For this basic simulation, this is enough. Finally, you have to click on the simulation button. So click on simulation, and now ready to run, click on run. Alright, now you have the result. Mainly the main results, there are a lot of results over here. You can see result 1 minus stress, first principal stress, third principal stress, displacement, safety factors, and other stresses, displacements, strands. From all of these, you really want what you really want is few of them mainly when you decide how safe your design is. So mainly it is 1 minus stress. So this is the first one. So when it is already selected, so now you can see the maximum 1 minus stress is 33.83.
This value is very closer to the yield strength of the copper, so this is not really safe design. So the copper is not good for this frame.
So 1 minus stress, this is the most commonly used stress result. This combines all stress components into a single value. All these components are combined into single value. This is used to predict whether the material will yield permanently deformed. And the next one, the next main thing is the others are sub result actually. The first principal stress, which is the maximum normal stress at a point. If you double click on that, you can see the maximum normal stress at a point is somewhere here. And also the third principal stress is maximum normal stress at a point, usually compressive stress. So third principal stress is a compressive stress, so it is usually a minus value, the minimum minus 35.15 megapascal. And so those are sub result. The other main result is the displacement, which is this one. So this is the displacement, which is maximum 2.871 millimeters.
Whether this value is okay for the design is really depend on the application of the design. This could be okay for one design but not for the other design. It is up to you to decide.
The total moment of each point from its original position, which is the displacement. And the final main one is the safety factor. It is again the safety main result, ratio between the material strength and the actual stress. So when you click on safety factor, you can see most of the area actually are red, so it is not very safe loading 500 kilograms on this frame. And there are few more sub result: the stress component, stress excess, stress yxy, stress xz, excess stress yy. So these are, if not much important for your design, but you can have a rough idea about it. Stress excess, normal stress acting in the x direction. Stress yy, normal stress acting in the y directions. Similarly the others as well. And the other sub result is a displacement component. X displacement, move only along the x-axis. Y displacement, move only along y-axis. Z displacement, move only along z-axis. The other sub result are substrain, strain results. Equivalent strain, when you click on that, you can see, you can actually have a look at each component. But those are, I would advise not to be more concerned about those results. Mainly focus on this main 4 results. For most engineering design, focus on 1 meter stress, check against yield strength, safety factor, ensure acceptable margin. Usual practice is to keep it above 1.5. So this one is actually not safe design, applying for 500 kilograms based on these safety factor numbers. And displacement, ensure deflection is acceptable, which is this one. And first principle stress, important for brittle materials. So you have to focus on this one as well if you are using a brittle material like cast iron or glass or plastics. And here there are few more command as well. You can use the probe. To find the result of each point when you click on this one, and then when you click each point, you can actually know the exact value of each point. And also you can hide each of this label using this one, the display panel. Click on this to unhide the probes, click on this to make it visible. And also from here you can click on this to remove the icons, labels like boundary conditions, the force and fixture details. And also if you click on here, maximum value, you can click on here, it will show you the maximum value. So which is first principle is stress, maximum value is here. And this point. And also if you move to more 1 meter stress, again as you have activated this maximum value probe, you can see the maximum value is over here. Similarly you can click on here and look at the minimum value, so you can see the minimum value is over here. So I hope this is useful, and for the next video I am going to convert this part file to an assembly file and join them using purely Inventor constraint and show you how it will behave under simulation environment. Until then, thank you for watching.